Hi there. In this part of the continuing series, we're going to talk about what is an interface and how you can utilize interface to create better design. So let me take you to a basic example which will make things much more clear. Now let's say that we have a customer module which consists of a customer base class which is extended by the individual customer and corporate customer, and the corporate customer is further extended by the elite corporate customer. This is our design for the customer module, and what we are going to do is we are going to use this information from this module and from the other module called as a biller module to generate some kind of bill. We are not going to discuss about the biller module because let's say that this is a sort of unknown entity for us, and we are going to only interact with it using the interfaces, and that is the purpose of this video. So now let's start with the class called as customer. Okay, and for now let us keep it empty. Then let us have a class individual customer extends customer, and the properties of individual customer could be all right. And then we have the corporate customer. Now if you're following all my lessons from the playlist, the link is provided right now, you would know that the class individual customer is the derived class of the base class customer, and so is the corporate customer. But the difference between these two classes is while one has the name and the age, other could be, for example, VAT number. And this is the primary difference between these two classes. All right, so this is, we have created the basic level of hierarchy, and now we are going to create a bill for these customers. So we have provided them a service and we are going to create a bill for these customers. So let's say we have a function. It says bill customer, and we're going to pass an instance of customer, and here what we are going to do is bill customer. All right, now this looks very simple because I can just create a corporate customer like this, and then I'm going to pass it to the bill customer, and the bill will be generated. And that is the purpose of our exercise in the first place. But there are complications that can arise. What if I get a scenario where I am okay to bill the corporate customer, but I would not like to bill individual customers for now? So I'm sure I cannot pass the individual customers to the bill customer module, because then it would be wrong to bill the individual customer. But if I change the interface here and say that instead of just the customer, I want corporate customers here, so that I am not able to pass the individual customer. I hope you understand the problem. By doing this, I am coupling the customer module and the billing module very tightly. So if tomorrow I get a new billing engine, so instead of the current one that I am having, and the new billing engine does not understand what a corporate customer is, because it belongs to either new company or it has been developed by the new software team which we have recently hired. So what we have done over here is we have tightly bound the billing module to the corporate customer. To make it more clear, let's say billing module is handled by the class billing. Okay, and let's put this function inside the class. Okay, and instead of just calling the function, let's create a billing object, and then call the function which is the bill customer. Now we know that we can only pass the corporate customers, but it tightly binds it to the um, billing module. Now what tomorrow if I have a class industrial customer, which can also be a corporate customer, but let's for the example sake assume that I have another class which extends the customer, and it may or may not be billable. So if it is billable, I will have to change this interface once again, or I will have to write a new function. So the concept of tight coupling must be getting clear. So whenever I make a change in my customer module, which is this one, make any adjustments, make any changes, the billing module has to change accordingly. And that is the biggest problem, because if your team changes or if your company changes, then you will have to change the interfaces that you're talking about, and the way it connects to each other, the way these modules connect to each other. And that is a problem, because you will have to change the functions all the time as and when the uh, customer module changes. Now what is the solution? The best solution is to abstract it out. And what does it mean? So we'll create an interface which will help us to abstract out the concept. So let's say we have an interface, and we are going to declare it like this: billable. And public interface billable has one function, public public function get VAT number. Okay, good. And now what I can do is I can create, instead of creating two functions, I can pass the interface. So, and let's make it capital. Okay, and I will pass it the billable $billable. Okay, and inside that I can write logic if dollar billable instance of corporate customer, corporate customer, then do this, else do something else. And what it has done is now it has decoupled the billing module with the customer module. So here I have to make some changes, and if I want it to be used in the billing module, I have to extend the corporate customer once again with something else. But in any language, most of the languages, extending from two classes is not allowed. So I cannot just write here public function get VAT number and say that I'm going to use the functionality of billable. This strategy doesn't work in PHP. So what we are going to do is we're going to use a keyword called as implements, and we're going to implement the billable interface. That means now we will have to write this function compulsorily. By implementing the billable interface, we have inherited the function get VAT number, and that is very beneficial, and we're going to show you how it is. So I'm going to just return the dollar this VAT number. All right, and now I have passed this as the billable interface, and I have to get the VAT number in case of any customer, any billable customer, provided it's not an individual customer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the VAT number from the billable object. Okay, and then I'm going to further do the processing. So I can create as many classes as I want and still pass the billable object. So if I create a corporate customer now, it's gonna be a billable object, and if I create an industrial customer, even this is valid. So let's say upon billing the customer, we go into this function and we echo corporate customer billed with VAT number equal to dot dollar VAT number, or if it is an instance of industrial customer, we will echo that industrial customer built with VAT number. So what we have done here is very simple stuff. We have abstracted away the concept of billing, and the modules doesn't depend on each other. Now let's see whether this works. And we have created a corporate customer, and now we are going to create a industrial customer, which we already done. We're going to bill it now. So you can see how my life has been made easy by the concept of billable object, and how easily I can pass without worrying about the type of the class, provided it implements the billable. And since here also I have to add the following things. Okay, all right, here we have to add the get VAT number because we have put the billable concept. Okay, And the benefit of declaring this is separate from the corporate customer is we can provide additional properties to our industrial customer. That could be the part of implementation. We are not worried about that right now. Okay, and what we did was we built the customer, just give them some value, some initialized value. So let's say this VAT number is 10 and this VAT number is 20, and let us run this in the browser. Okay, we got some error, unexpected public on line 46. Let's check out what line 46 is. Okay, so it doesn't like this. Let's remove it, run it once again. Okay, let's make it a little bit more readable. Actually, it has worked as per what we wanted, but let's still make it a little bit more readable. So you can see that the first part that we had talked about, the corporate customer billed with VAT number 10, and then the industrial customer billed with VAT number 20. So there we are able to use the interfaces in such a nice way so as to remove the coupling of two different modules. And now whatever we do in here, customer module, is not going to impact the uh, billing module. So I hope that was the purpose of interface, which is primarily abstraction, was clear enough. And in the next video, we are going to talk about what is the difference between interface and the abstract base class. And thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.